Part 225. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2241. Master, what shall we do now? Kunpeng Biming moved over with his huge body shaking, and while talking, the expression of helplessness on his face grew more and more. Since someone has helped you bear these thunderstorms, you can stay here and feel at ease. Fang Fan shrugged, and then followed suit. If you lose your horse, you will know it is not a blessing. That doesn't seem like a bad thing either. I just don't know if this kind of sanctuary thunder tribulation is survived by others. Will it affect the promotion to the sanctuary realm? Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and there were flashes of light flickering in them, more or less curious. Hello. Is your name Fang Fan? Are you Fang Fan? Apart from being handsome, there are no special features. Just as Fang Fan was thinking, a female voice suddenly came from his ear, and he saw a young woman wearing a green gauze skirt and carrying a black giant sword standing there, holding a giant sword that was extremely disproportionate to her height and shape. More or less it seems a bit inconsistent. Fang Fan's gaze took a look at the woman in the green veil skirt, and some features were quite obvious, such as the giant sword in her hand, and the way she stood proudly standing on her chest was quite eye-catching. The face is exquisite, but it looks a little immature, but this figure forms a huge contrast with her immature appearance. Beautiful things are always attractive, so Fang Fan couldn't hold back and took a few more glances. Looking really good. Hello. What are you looking at? Color embryo. My brother is right, no man in this world is a good thing. The woman in the green gauze skirt wrinkled her immature face, and then swung the giant sword in her hand and rushed over directly. I heard that you are a master of swordsmanship, so I want to fight with you. While the woman in the green gauze skirt was talking, the look of excitement on her face grew more and more. At this moment, the posture of running wildly with the giant sword in her hand was vividly displayed. Immediately, the woman in the green gauze skirt completely burst out her aura. The pinnacle of the 4-star sanctuary. Moreover, the fighting power erupting from holding a giant sword seems to be stronger, approaching the 5-star sanctuary realm. Fang Fan's eyes widened in an instant. This is so frighteningly hard to hold on. Before beheading that Fan Haigong, Fan Ming had played all his trump cards. Many hole cards are time sensitive, and they cannot continue to be used for a short time. Like Fang Fan's Divine Skill Rage God's Rage, and Nai Yan's Divine Skill Battle Control. How to use the second time in a short time. Seeing that the woman was about to rush over, Fang Fan looked at Bai Biao who was beside him. Bai Biao immediately let go of her feet and ran away. You kid has a way of dealing with women. This woman can tell at a glance that she is the kind of person whose IQ is not online, which is just right for you. You hold her steady. Boy Fang Fan, this god envoy is also giving you a chance. Take him. Don't hesitate. Bai Biao can run faster than anyone else, this is quite reasonable. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and his desire to complain suddenly became high. That's it? That's it? Playing with a hammer. Fang Fan's eyeballs rolled around, he couldn't roll over at this moment. Fang Fan's gaze scanned all his cards, and then his eyes lit up. This holy level camouflage card is really good. Holy level camouflage card, after using it, you can pretend to be a 1-star to 9-star sanctuary realm cultivation level and aura at will. Except for the combat power is still the 5 scum, there is no defect in other aspects, and the duration is 1 hour. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2242. You are not my opponent. Stop it. Your swordsmanship still has many flaws. If I make a move, I will delay my sword hard. While talking, Fang Fan immediately used the holy camouflage card in his hand. Whoosh whoosh. Fang Fan's aura suddenly started to skyrocket. From the original peak quasi-sacred realm directly soared to the low-level holy realm of the 9-star sanctuary. The aura of the holy state is as vast as a sea of smoke. After this eruption, it was naturally shocking. At this moment, each of them widened their eyes, feeling unbelievable. It always feels like all kinds of surprises are coming one after another. What a shock! How so? Holy One. You are the Holy One. How can this be? Stab. The giant sword in the hands of the woman in the green gauze skirt trembled, but she couldn't hold it any longer, and Fang Fan was hit hard on the inner thigh. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth twitched, and there was a burst of cold sweat on his back. What the hell, it was almost cut to the middle. At this moment, the blood burst out suddenly, which seemed quite miserable. Why don't you hide? Aren't you a saint? Yan 11, a girl in a green gauze skirt, widened her eyes and her face was full of astonishment. This was far from her expectation, and she always felt that there were many problems. He. This little injury is nothing. For a holy sword cultivator like me, only by being injured often can I understand a deeper sword. Besides, do you really think you can hurt me? The so-called injury is just an illusion, it can be recovered in an instant. The sword of the sword is for the swordless. With the sword in your heart, you can achieve great swordsmanship. Fang Fan started talking nonsense, and then quickly used a healing card for himself. Immediately, his injuries recovered as before, and not even a scar appeared. The look of astonishment on the face of Yan 11, a woman in a green gauze skirt, grew more and more. The picture in front of her made her feel unbelievable. How is this possible? It's so weird. Is this really a sign of great swordsmanship? Your sword skills are much better than mine. No, it should be stronger than my master. How on earth do you practice swords? Can you teach me? Can you be my master? Master, please be respected by your disciples. Yan 11, a girl in a green gauze dress, spoke excitedly, then knelt down in front of Fang Fan, ready to perform the ceremony of apprenticeship. Things were developing so fast that even Fang Fan couldn't predict it. This woman is in a hurry, and no one knows what she will do next. However, the current situation shows that the previous deception has had some effect. Fang Fan nodded silently, it was good to be foolish. Otherwise, it would not be a good thing to be targeted by such a big-chested and brainless giant sword girl. Without many trump cards, every minute will be devastated. Why? I think that I, Tongtian Sword God, have never accepted an apprentice. Seeing a genius like you who is gifted in the way of swords this time, I still can't hold back. Since that's the case, I, the Sword God, will accept you as my registered disciple. If there is a chance, this Sword God will naturally guide you a few words. But don't be so aggressive in the future, remember to be good. The most taboo thing for us sword cultivators is impetuosity. While talking about the calf, Fang Fan couldn't help reaching out his hand to touch the lowly head of the woman in the green veil skirt in front of her. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2243. Touching the head to kill has now become Fang Fan's habitual action. Anyway, if you don't do this, you will feel uncomfortable all over. Yes, Master taught it right, Yan 11 wrote it down. The woman in the green gauze skirt nodded quickly, her immature face was full of determination. Obviously, he did keep Fang Fan's words in his heart. 11ER, what are you doing? 11ER, what's wrong with you? Have you been kidnapped by this bastard in front of you? What are you kneeling in front of him for? This bastard, you still dare to touch your head. On weekdays, if I touch your hair, I will chase and kill me for 30,000 miles. A rather irritable voice came from a distance, and a young cultivator holding a silver-white longsword rushed towards him with a shocked expression on his face. While talking at this moment, his dog's head almost fell off. Why does this picture look so inconsistent? Is this still his own sister who is omnipotent? Why is he such a stranger as a brother? Tianlang Jianzilang Tianya's eyes widened, and he still couldn't figure it out at the moment. He stared at Fang Fan with hostile eyes, thinking that Fang Fan must have done something to his sister, that's why he showed this scene. 11 don't be afraid. With my brother here, I will definitely rescue you. Jianzilang Tianya of Tianlang sword sect took a deep breath, and then his body burst out, with strange lights flashing in his eyes. The silver-white longsword was aimed directly at Fang Fan. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows subconsciously. It's still a 4-star sanctuary. Have all the cultivators of these 4-star sanctuary realms appeared in groups now? Could it really only be one more whole card? Can the low-level holy aura emanating from the holy level camouflage card fool the woman in the green veil in front of me, or fool an angry brother? Seeing his sister being bullied, the feeling of being a brother exploded immediately. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and the sharp rays of light flickered in them. At this moment, various thoughts gathered in his heart, and gradually became more and more real. Just when Fang Fan was about to make a move, Yan 11, a woman in a green gauze dress, suddenly stood up with a huge sword in her hand, and immediately confronted this Tianlang sword sect, Zilang Tianya. Clang! There was a sound of metal collisions, and then the sword Sun Lang Tianya of the Tianlang sword school was stunned. 11 what are you doing? Lang Tianya felt that he was too wronged. He was here to help. How could he be blocked by his own sister? Brother! Who told you to do it casually? This is the master I just recognized. You can't attack my master. My master is amazing. He is the sword god. His swordsmanship is super strong. Fortunately, I blocked you. If my master makes a move, you will be finished. Yan 11, a woman in a green gauze skirt, spoke with a deep opinion. It's as if that's the case. In any case, as long as you can fool people in this aspect, as for the others, you don't need to care at all. I am doomed. Master. I. Lang Tianya took a deep breath, his lips trembled unnaturally, and while talking, the gesture of gnashing his teeth was vividly displayed. How long has it been since we've been apart, and just recognized a master again? What sword god? Are you kidding me? This silly girl, is her IQ on the line? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2244. 11 you, tell me what to say. Why do you believe what anyone says? You let me catch him, and when I torture him, you will know who he is. This is clearly deceiving you. You actually believe it? The corner of Lang Tianya's mouth twitched, and he said angrily. Brother! Can you be less stubborn? Why do you have to find abuse yourself? If you offend my master, I will never end with you. My master is the supreme sword god in the holy realm. You can't even beat him, and you still want to take down my master. Yan 11, a woman in a green gauze skirt, is piercing her heart every word she says. The corner of Lang Tianya's mouth twitched. Am I so shameless? You say that, I am too difficult. This wave after wave, what kind of trouble do you want? Has anyone belittled your brother so much? You go back with me. It's enough to be wild outside, come back quickly. I promise I won't shoot him again. While Lang Tianya was talking, he couldn't help but glanced at Fang Fan with hatred. This guy snatched away his sister, so he was naturally very upset. Brother, you go back first, I have to learn superb swordsmanship from master. I will follow master from now on. Oh, by the way, my master is Fang Fan, so hurry up and take the sisters of the Tianlang sword sect back, and don't trouble my master. If you are willing to stay, it is not impossible, then serve as my master's guards. Yan 11, a girl in a green gauze skirt, was talking and then arranged everything clearly. Lang Tianya in the distance is speechless at this moment. What did he do wrong? God wants to punish him like this? He is so difficult. Really too difficult. The melon seeds in this head are humming intermittently. There is quite an urge to vomit blood this time. My sister can't. Your Excellency is Fang Fan from Qingtian Sanctuary. I have heard about your deeds more or less. My Tianlang sword sect has no intention of going against you, but can you give up controlling my sister? I don't care what ecstasy soup you poured on him, but I hope you can hold your hand high. As long as my sister can come back, my sword son Lang Tianya of the Tianlang sword sect hereby promises that from now on, the practitioners of the Tianlang sword sect will never attack you again. Jianzi Lang Tianya of the Tianlang sword school took a deep breath. While talking, the sharp rays of light flickered in his eyes. With his hands folded in front of him, the corners of his mouth twitched unnaturally. The gathering of thoughts in my heart immediately became more and more real, as if everything exploded completely. He, Ling Mei's swordsmanship is extremely high, I really appreciate it. As for the ecstasy soup, I've never poured it. Your sister is also an adult, and you can still tell right from wrong. As for the examiners of the Tianlang sword sect gathering here, it's not because of the school token in my hand. Is it possible that they are still here for an outing? Fang Fan stretched, and while talking, he glanced over indifferently. While speaking, the aura of the low-level saint on his body was displayed intentionally or unintentionally. On the side, the practitioners of Genji Shenzong are piling up the corpses of tens of thousands of practitioners in Fanhai Palace. This scene still looks quite majestic. This time, as long as you take a glance, you can see everything at a glance. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2245. Holy Realm. Hiss. No wonder even the palace made from Fanhai Palace who had awakened the blood of a demigod fell into the sand. You really killed Fanming, the son of Fanhai Palace. Gudong. At this moment, Jianzilang Tianya of the Tianlang sword school glanced around, all kinds of thoughts frantically gathered in his mind. Naturally, at this moment, it is impossible to make a simple statement casually. He was eager to save his sister just now, so he never paid attention to these details. There are probably 60,000 to 70,000 corpses around. In addition to the corpses of the examiners from the Brahma Sea Palace, the top-ranking force in the Sanctuary of the Firmament, there are also the examiners from the Soul Race and the Temple of the Heavenly God, which are ordinary forces in the Sanctuary of the Firmament. Now the practitioners of these forces have disappeared from the list of school tokens, and only Fang Fan's school tokens have skyrocketed again and again. Now it has even skyrocketed to 130,000. In this way, in fact, many things have been clearly displayed. If you say you don't feel anything, it must be a lie. At this moment, even if you are a fool, you can actually see the way in it. The practitioners of this third-class Jingtian sanctuary are not easy. Don't look at the 200 people at the moment, but the achievements they have made are exceptionally brilliant. Although my Tianlang sword sect is also affiliated with the top grade 1 forces in the Vault of Heaven Sanctuary, its comprehensive strength is not far behind that of Fanhai Palace. Phew, since Fang Fan from Qingtian Sanctuary can defeat Fanhai Palace and kill tens of thousands of practitioners in Fanhai Palace, he can also slaughter my Tianlang sword section. And, and this Fang Fan is indeed evil, and the cultivation base revealed by him is actually a low-level saint. If he is really a low-level saint venerable existence, then no matter how many examiners our Tianlang sword sect sends out, they are still falling into a trap. Don't be impulsive, absolutely not impulsive. Call. The relationship between 11ER and this guy is pretty good now, but there is still a possibility to stabilize the situation. Jianzilang Tianya of the Tianlang sword sect had flickering eyes, thinking about it at this moment, couldn't help but nod repeatedly. Immediately, the smile on the face of Lang Tianya, the sword son of the Tianlang sword school, couldn't help but increase. Your Excellency Fang Fan, please forgive me, my younger sister has never been ignorant of etiquette, she may have offended you before, please don't mind. Please believe that our Tianlang sword sect practitioners came here to bring back my disobedient sister. Hee, that's actually what happened. So, you should be able to understand. While talking, Jianzilang Tianya of the Tianlang sword sect nodded his head quickly. While speaking, his eyes couldn't help but glanced around, and the flattering look on his face couldn't help showing. Those who know current affairs are heroes, and Fang Fan's ability to fool people has always been so strong. Bai Piao, who had been hiding far away, came over with a confused expression on his face. What the hell is all right? This kid is not only good at fooling women now, he even fools men. Men and women take all? Bai Piao's eyes couldn't help but glance at Yan 11, a woman in a green veil skirt, and sighed subconsciously. Another good cabbage. It's a pity, it's a pity. Shameless. My life is too bitter. Bai Piao walked over muttering, the jealous look on his face was self-evident. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2246. Why? Why is it that Fang Fan takes off every time, he can only eat bran and swallow vegetables to be jealous? The gap between people is really too big, it's really not a star. Bai Piao sighed inwardly, then walked over helplessly. Fang Fan glared at this guy, thinking I'm not doing enough? This wave after wave, what kind of trouble do you want to make? Can't you stop for a little while? This is also an expedient measure for him. Now that a holy camouflage card has been consumed, let's play to the extreme. Now his three favorites are still at the critical moment of crossing the catastrophe, so naturally there can be no other accidents. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, then smiled slightly, and came in front of this Tianlang sword school Jianzilang Tianya. Since you've said it all, it's a misunderstanding, let's forget it. I'm not the kind of person who cares about everything. It's too difficult for you to run around looking for the token of the school. Why don't we make a deal? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, while talking, then said in a deep voice. While speaking, the sharp rays of light flickered in the eyes. Trade. Tianlang Jianzilang Tianya's eyes widened, and he couldn't help showing a look of doubt on his face. What is the so-called transaction? Now there are more than 4 days until the end of the assessment. I will send you Tianlang Jian 10,000 school tokens every day, and you, the practitioners of the Tianlang Jian sect, will belong to me to dispatch. How? Think of it as my fee for hiring you. Fang Fan squinted his eyes and glanced. The crowd gathered by the Tianlang sword sect had almost 10,000 practitioners. However, it is also a top-ranking first-rank force in the sanctuary of the sky, and the number of practitioners of the Tianlang sword sect is indeed a little less. 10,000 a day. Good on. Lang Tianya took a deep breath, his eyes sparkled with excitement. This is so amazing. You must know that the number of school tokens he currently owns is only 3,000. The speed of finding monsters and killing them to obtain the token of the school is really too slow. Cough. That, Fang, Your Excellency Fang Fan, I want to make a statement in advance. This is a part of the Heavenly Sword faction of the Tianlang Sword sect, and all I can dispatch are the 10,000 people in front of me. To tell you the truth, I only have 3,000 school tokens in my hand. I can't represent the entire Tianlang Sword section. The main force of the Tianlang Sword sect is concentrated in the Spirit Sword faction. So your price is too high, too high. Lang Tianya let out a sigh of relief, his gaze followed unnaturally. Some things still need to be made clear, otherwise it won't be a scam. Fang Fan froze for a moment, with a look of astonishment on his face. Originally, he was still curious about how the Tianlang Sword sect, as a top-ranking first-rank force, had only 10,000 examiners gathered. It turned out that there was such a reason. Heavenly Sword, Spiritual Sword. These two major forces belong to the Tianlang Sword section. Among them, the Heavenly Sword has weakened, and there are naturally fewer cultivators in it. The Spiritual Sword is powerful, and the practitioners in it are far better than the Heavenly Sword. Fang Fan secretly estimated that the Heavenly Sword faction of the Tianlang Sword sect had only 10,000 examiners, and the Spiritual Sword faction might gather 40,000 to 50,000 practitioners. But what Fang Fan really cares about is actually the fighting power of Yan 11 and Lang Tianya. The 4-star Sanctuary's peak combat power is already a top-notch master in the assessment field. Hiring them can save Fang Fan the step of using treasured cards. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2247. These school tokens are used to sprint for rankings. If there are enough tokens, it is good to be able to sweep the top 100. If there are too many, it will be a waste. Fang Fan was thinking aside, his expression gradually became serious. Jianzilang Tianya, who is from the Tianlang Sword sect's Tianjian faction, couldn't help but feel a little beating in his heart. From his point of view, he naturally didn't want to miss such a good opportunity, but what if he didn't miss it? The facts are already here, and to some extent, he can no longer control it by himself. Right now, I can only follow my own wish. As Lang Tianya thought about it, he couldn't help showing a look of regret on his face. If the examiners of the Heavenly Sword faction of the Tianlang Sword sect can really get the 10,000 school tokens a day, then their Heavenly Sword forces will definitely be able to breathe a sigh of relief. According to the original speed of their Heavenly Sword forces, wandering around the assessment field for a day can harvest more than 1,000 school tokens. He is well aware of the difference between 1,000 school tokens and 10,000 school tokens. Thinking of this, the smile on Lang Tianya's face couldn't help but increased. All kinds of ideas are gathered, and the gesture of swallowing saliva is vividly displayed. An excellent opportunity, we must try our best to seize it. Lang Tianya began to wink at his younger sister Yan 11 crazily, thinking of asking his younger sister to help him say good things. Master, master. The woman in the green gauze skirt waved the giant sword in her hand, and then yelled a few words. Fang Fan opened his eyes and looked up silently. The token of the school has never been rare to me. Now that Yan 11 is my registered disciple, I naturally don't care about these. The so-called hiring you is also to give you a chance to ride the wind and waves. Fang Fan smiled silently, he must maintain his style when it's time to pretend. Master, master. It's so kind of you. Then can you teach me swordsmanship now? When will I be able to achieve great success without a sword in my heart? Also, I stabbed you before, but you can recover instantly. Is this also the mystery of the sword? Master. Yan 11 blinked her eyes, and called Shizun from time to time, but felt that Shizun was a bit awkward, so she started calling Shifu again. Every now and then, Fang Fan was asked to teach her swordsmanship. Fang Fan knows swordsmanship with a hammer. He has always used any weapon at his fingertips. Now I have been using the sword because the Zhantian sword is special. Otherwise, Fang Fan really wanted to carry the heavy cannon and bombard it in an all-round way. But looking at Yan 11's hopeful look, if Fang Fan said he couldn't, wouldn't that be a slap in the face? No matter how this apprentice got here, after all, it is very sweet to call each other master master. The way of the sword is illusory. Just feel it with your heart. Actually, I've been teaching you for a long time. You can't feel that I'm teaching you, that's because your heart is still too impetuous, you can't feel the sword intent I imparted to you. Guard from arrogance and impetuosity, carefully comprehend. Everything can be a sword. Every word I say is actually the condensation of sword intent. I caress your head, and it also permeates the profound meaning of the sword. 11 take a good look at it. When you get started, the teacher will naturally teach you more advanced swordsmanship. Fang Fan spoke solemnly, and the expression on his face became more and more solemn. Not to mention anything else, just this bullshit appearance is very real. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2248. Master. Is this the way of the sword? It turns out that my aptitude is too bad. Then I will continue to study with Master. Master, I will follow you from now on. Master, thank you for teaching me. Master, I think you are better than my master. Yan 11, a girl in a green gauze skirt, was talking, and then she stood in front of Fang Fan with a huge sword taller than her. Her immature face showed a look of conviction. Seeing Yan 11's trusting face, Fang Fan suddenly felt guilty. This seems a bit immoral. Because of the previous bullshit, it seems that I can't take it back. Now if I tell her that I don't know any swordsmanship at all, this little girl should be very sad. Once she is sad, it will definitely affect her swordsmanship practice, and even cause some cracks in her heart. Fang Fan sighed with emotion, counting it this way, this can be regarded as a white lie out of helplessness. Since it is a white lie, it cannot be regarded as a pure lie. Fang Fan nodded, thinking this way in his heart. He felt more and more that it should be like this. Puff. Ha 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 ha. I can't do it. I'll hum it. It's okay. Unfair. How unfair the heavens are. Why can't I meet such a pure little lowly? Heaven. Earth. Bai Piao inexplicably felt the deep resentment in his heart. While talking, he immediately held his chest. Life is too difficult. Now I want to spit out a mouthful of old blood. Jealousy drives people crazy. At this moment, he has no idea what to say. What's up with him? Is he alright? Yan 11, a girl in a green gauze skirt, blinked, and then said in surprise. Well, he just became crazy because of his insufficient swordsmanship qualifications, and then his mentality collapsed. At the beginning, I didn't follow my teaching to practice swords, and now I have become like this. He is the representative figure who does not practice swordsmanship. 11 you must not learn from him. 11 you must remember that a pure heart is the only criterion for the way of swordsmanship, and you should not be greedy. One more thing, the way of swordsmanship is about following one's inclinations, that's all. If you can comprehend what I said, you will benefit from it in this life. While Fang Fan was talking, his gaze moved unnaturally around. As far as bullshit is concerned, Fang Fan has never been afraid of anyone. This is the end of the matter, what needs to be discussed still needs to be discussed. Fang Fan then glared at Bai Piao, hinting that he should not come over and cause trouble. Just as Fang Fan was thinking this way, he suddenly felt something soft touched by his arm. I saw Yan 11 walking forward and grabbing his arm excitedly, her eyes full of desire for knowledge. Master, Master, why are you so powerful? You can come to participate in the assessment, which means that your bone age is under 1,000 years old. In less than 1,000 years, your swordsmanship has actually reached this point. While Yan 11 was talking, sharp rays of light flickered in her eyes. At this moment, she was completely convinced, and she completely regarded Fang Fan as her idol. "Hey, what are you doing? Don't touch your hands." At this time, Xiao Liulai suddenly came out from the side and hugged Fang Fan's other arm. Softness strikes again. Fang Fan sighed silently. It was too difficult. Life is so helpless sometimes. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2249. Who are you? What's wrong with me hugging my master? What does it have to do with you? Yan 11, the sword girl of the Heavenly Sword faction of the Tianlang Sword School, was speaking and then showed her little tiger teeth, and the gesture of gnashing her teeth was vividly displayed while speaking. I. Fairy Liulai's eyes flickered for a while. Facing such a question, she really didn't know how to answer it. Equals. I am Fang Fan's wife? I am your teacher's wife. Xiao Liulai's attack was explosive, and when she spoke, her posture with her head held high was fully revealed. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth twitched. What the hell is that? Okay. I really can't talk nonsense. Cut. Who would believe it? Look at your guilty look, you must be lying. Master, I want you to teach me how to practice swords. Yan 11 blinked and said coquettishly. Xiao Liulai also hugged Fang Fan's other arm tightly, her eyes full of grievances. Fang Fan suddenly felt dizzy. Cough. You should get to know each other well first. You will be studying in Guangming Academy in the future, so it's better to get to know each other in advance. Fang Fan nodded silently, and while talking, the helpless look on his face grew more and more. Fang Fan glanced at the sanctuary thunder tribulation gathering in the sky. After so long, the sanctuary thunder tribulation still hadn't come down on the three great pets under his command. This is waiting until the daylily is almost cold. However, judging from the current situation, it is quite difficult for the instructors of Guangming Academy to persevere. Looking at it from Fang Fan's point of view, it was clear that many practitioners wearing the uniforms of the mentors of the Guangming Academy fell from the sky one after another. When it fell completely, it looked extremely miserable. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and all kinds of thoughts suddenly burst out in his mind. It seems that these tutors of Guangming Academy are also having a hard time. The examination field is empty. My lord, Deputy Palace Master, I can't keep it. The 6 Thunder Tribulations have been resisted, but the Thunder group of the Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation has not disappeared. This is clearly the 9-level Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation. And these 3 are all 9-layer Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation. That Fang Fan's subordinates are a group of freaks. Are they all so hated by the gods? A tutor from Guangming Academy took a deep breath, and while talking, his body trembled unnaturally, and the helpless expression on his face became more and more. Too difficult. It is really too difficult. The melon seeds in this head exploded in bursts. If the 3 Sanctuary Thunder Tribulations are all triple or 6 Sanctuary Thunder Tribulations, it doesn't matter. If you resist, you will resist, and you won't have too much trouble. But there happened to be a 9-layer Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation, and 3 of them appeared in a row. Everyone shook their heads helplessly, and the numbness in their scalps would only become more intense. This wave after wave, how about fooling people? At this moment, there are already many mentors from Guangming Academy who have spoken up. Those who can stand here to resist the thunder calamity of the Holy Realm are all the mentors of the Holy Realm, and now they are a little bit unable to hold on. One can imagine how strong the aggrieved feeling in their hearts is. Murong Yu opened his mouth, then closed it again. She saw Fang Fan embracing the two beauties in the assessment field, and his posture was quite high. Seeing this, Murong Yu had the urge to gnash his teeth. This bastard, the old lady worked so hard to help you resist the thunder disaster here, you really enjoyed it. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2250. The current situation is actually quite difficult. If they just withdraw like this, the power of the powerful sanctuary thunder tribulation will directly penetrate the magic circle of the examination field, and even have a great impact on the entire examination field. At that time, the assessment will naturally have to be terminated. Things will only get worse then. Stay, just a little longer. Hold on for a while, hold on for me. The power of faith, gather together. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, clenched his teeth, his eyes flashed with sharp rays of light, and his lips twitched unnaturally as he spoke. Now he is too hard to get off. If it was said to terminate the assessment from the beginning, it would be terminated. Even if the reputation is not very good, there is actually no big problem. According to the prediction in the mind of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, under normal circumstances, it is the triple or sixth level of the Sanctuary Thunder disaster, and the probability of encountering the ninth level of the Sanctuary Thunder disaster is less than 1%. And the three Sanctuary Thunder calamities are all from the 9-level Sanctuary Thunder calamity, which is unheard of in ancient and modern times. This probability, 1 in a million? 1 in a million chances that he met him. Absurd. Rumbling. The seventh thunder from the three Sanctuary Thunder tribulations in the sky suddenly fell. Most of the other mentors in the holy state couldn't hold on anymore and fell to the ground directly. That is to say, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy in the semi-divine realm can continue to persevere. At this moment, there was a milky white light all over his body, which was the light of the power of faith. The entire Swifu square fell into bursts of consternation. The deputy palace master has released all the power of faith. It is really too difficult for a strong demigod to accumulate a little power of faith. Who says it's not? The deputy palace master is desperate to fight against these sacred thunder disasters. Why is Fang Fan in the heavenly sanctuary so lucky? When his war pets crossed the sanctuary's thunder calamity, they were protected by big bosses. Fang Fan in the heavenly sanctuary is really weird. I think he is the gods abandoned, otherwise, how can he explain that the three divine pets under his command all encountered the 9-level sanctuary thunder tribulation, which is unheard of? I think so too, even the heavens are jealous, you are despicable and shameless. Tuhunehi. Tuhunehi. This result is beyond our control. SHH, don't talk anymore, Tianli, the sky thunder has come again, the terrifying eighth thunder has completely exploded. There was a roaring sound, and everyone's eyes gathered here, with more or less envious and jealous expressions on their faces. At this moment, the eighth thunder is spinning in the sky. At this moment in the sky, only Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the semi-divine state of Guangming Academy, and a few mentors are struggling to resist. Boom. When the eighth thunder group of the three sanctuary thunder tribulations landed, everyone's eyes gathered here, with horrified expressions on their faces. Boom. Rumbling. Puff. Puff puff. High in the sky, the few surviving mentors of the Holy Master realm of the Guangming Academy spit out a mouthful of reverse blood, and then fell crazily. In addition, Shui Wanren, the demigod deputy palace master of Guangming Academy, also changed his face. Puff. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, held his heart, and a stream of purple blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth, which was very eye-catching. The blood of demigods is purple. Even the demigod powerhouse was injured in this catastrophe, so terrifying.